is really just a way for me to teach you how to drive and also update you on all the wonderful and exciting stuff we have going on with the podcast and now on Facebook Live and YouTube and all that fun stuff. We really had some great interviews, and we'll talk about those in a minute. But today, what I want to talk to you about, since we're on a not too busy highway, but busy enough type of highway where, and it's a turnpike. And I don't know about you guys, but I tend to get a little lackadaisical on turnpikes because there's not really a lot of exits, so you're not contending with a lot of merging traffic. You're not having to switch lanes a lot, which switching lanes is a bad idea. That's where you have a lot of your highway accidents, just an FYI there. So avoid switching lanes unless you need to switch lanes, unless there's a good reason for you to switch lanes. But when you're going down a turnpike, there's just not a lot of on and off ramps. They kind of limit those, and they're fairly slow, so they're fairly easy to navigate. So you can kind of get into a false sense of security. And everybody tells you when you learn how to drive, pay attention to the road. Pay attention, right? That's the big rule thing. You always got to have your eyes on the road. Well, what does that really mean? Because you see me, I'll glance down. I've got a camera facing me on the dash, and I'll glance down at it. Does that mean I've taken my eyes off the road? Well, if it did, I wouldn't be doing this. You have a thing called peripheral vision, and if all you do is stare straight ahead, you get what they call tunnel vision. You've probably learned about this if you got a ticket and you've had to go to defensive driving courses. They tell you to keep your eyes moving because otherwise you'll get tunnel vision, and people tend to get tunnel vision on turnpikes. So I've got some footage of my head cam I'm going to place in here. Hopefully I'll have it up kind of right here, and you can see in this head cam video how much I'm moving my head around while I'm driving. Now, I'm a truck driver, granted, I'm a flatbed truck driver, which means I'm always looking around because I'm always scared somebody's going to do something dumb, and that's kind of how truck drivers go. We always are scared somebody's going to do something dumb, so we're always trying to be aware of what's around us. But you should do the same thing, because what happens is that's how people get in accidents. You get complacent. And if you get complacent long enough, it's just a matter of time that you will get into an accident. And the thing I really want to point out is, keeping your eyes moving keeps you awake. That means you look in your mirrors. You notice me looking in my mirrors a lot. Now I look in my mirrors to notice all the traffic around me. I'm counting cars. I've got 2 trucks in front of me. I've got 2 trucks behind me. I've got a lot of space. I've got a car coming up on my left, another car in the fast lane. I see a car between these 2 trucks up here. Okay, so I know everything's around me. If all of a sudden I need to change lanes and I've lost sight of this car that's getting ready to pass me, like he goes into my blind spot or something, I'm going, okay, wait a second. There's a problem here. I lost a car. And I need to find that car. Oh, here he is. Okay, now it's safe for me to pass. See? So that's what it means to move your eyes around. And, make a game out of it or whatever. Count, see if you can keep track of the cars around you. Do you know when you're driving down the road, if I ask you how many cars are around you, how many trucks right now? I can say, without even looking, I can close my eyes and say 2 in front, 2 trucks in front, 2 in back, 2 cars in front. I can say that easily. The other thing that you can test yourself with, I like to do this with my wife, she hates it, and she does it to me, and sometimes I miss it. When I'm driving my car, I'm not great at driving so used to driving a truck, I get lackadaisical in the car. So it's very easy to do. But if you do that long enough, eventually you're going to have an accident. Here's a little trick I like to play. What'd that sign say? Can you tell me? You see in my dash cam, did you see what the sign said? It said, emergency parking, 1,000 feet. All right? So you read the signs, you know how many vehicles are around you, you know how much space you have, and you're getting ready to think about what your next move is going to be. Now, I'm coming up on Schneider here, so I'm probably going to end up passing him. But that's what it means to keep your eyes on the road, quote unquote. See, there's our emergency parking right there. Good thing I read that sign, because if I had a blowout, I'd know, boom, I could get over. This is what it means to pay attention while you're driving. Keep your eyes moving. You know what the signs say. You know what's around you. You're moving your head. Now, I'm checking my load, too, to make sure. I've got a couple of pieces of shot machinery on my trailer right now. I don't want those falling off and going all over the highway, so I'm making sure everything's staying tight back there. And so I'm looking a lot more often, probably than you have to. It's over-exaggerated, but you get an idea, especially as you look into my head cam, what it's like to pay attention while you're driving. And I can tell you as a fact that most drivers have an accident every 100,000 miles. That means once every 4 years, generally speaking, for you people. You drive about 25,000 miles a year, you're going to have an accident once every 4 years. Not a big deal. You know, you're still going to have decent insurance if you only have an accident once every 4 years. Not going to have the greatest. You better if you had no accidents. But if I had an accident every 100,000 miles, I'd be out of a job. That'd be an accident per year. And I would not be a truck driver. So I had to pay extra careful attention. Fortunately, in my almost 7 years of driving, I get in about 125,000 miles a year, so you can do the math on that. Fortunately, had no accidents, but fortune really has nothing to do with it. What it has to do with is paying attention. That means I'm keeping my eyes moving at all times. I know what's going on around me. I know what's happening. I know what kind of space I have. I know where my escape routes are, and I'm getting real nervous right now because you see I'm passing this truck. I got a truck directly behind me, and I've got traffic coming up on my left. This is when I get nervous. When I get really nervous, seeing how Ohio trucks can pass on the left. And so that gets really nerve-wracking when you get three abreast going down the highway because you got trucks in front of you and you got nowhere to go. So you don't want that situation. You got to pay attention to these things. I want to get past Schneider here, leave him behind, and then get myself some more space in case something happens. Because here's how accidents happen. Generally speaking, unless it's a bad accident, it involves two vehicles. Statistically, the overwhelming majority of the time, accidents involve two vehicles, all right? Now, what that means is 99.9% of the time, one of the two people wasn't paying attention. One or both of them wasn't paying attention. Because if you were paying attention at all times, you can avoid an accident. Last night, I was driving at night in the rain, and a guy passed me at about 90 miles an hour on my right because I got over for somebody who was on the shoulder, and I almost came over. But I was paying attention. I saved his life. And I save somebody's life probably about once a month on a good month, maybe twice a month. I save somebody's life because I was paying attention and they weren't. Because I had my signal light on and everything. I was indicating that I was coming over. It was very foolish of him to blow by me at that speed on my blind side. Very foolish thing to do, but I avoided an accident because I was paying attention. And if you're paying attention and the other guy's not, then you're going to avoid most all accidents. Virtually every accident there is preventable. Even if it's the other person's fault, you could have avoided the accident. See, if that guy would have, well, it would have been my fault had I come over, but in a sense, he would, in a sense, it's his fault because he should know better than to pass a truck on the right. But even if it was deemed his fault, I still could have avoided that accident. Even if you're not at fault, you still can avoid accidents. Because who wants to get in accidents? It's a hassle, it's a pain in the butt, you got to get your car repaired, all this other stuff. So paying attention, that's what paying attention means. That's what it means to keep your eyes on the road. Now when I talk about peripheral vision, never look down. That's why you don't deal with your cell phone in the car, because most of you people don't have the stuff up on the dash like I have it, where I always have my eyeballs on the road. Even if I'm looking in this mirror here, I can still see in front of me. I can still see what's going on. I can still see when brake lights are coming on. So that's what it means to keep your eyes on the road. Use your peripheral vision. You have it. Use it. And if you don't do that, if you don't keep your eyes moving, you will get tunnel vision, and your peripheral vision will go away. And you'll stop noticing stuff on your left and your right, and that's a problem. You can't pay attention to stuff you don't notice. All right. So hopefully that helps. You pay attention while you're on the road. Little tip from the Truck Driver's Guide to the Galaxy this week. So there you are. Now, this week on the podcast, we have none other than Joy Pullman of the Federalist. Now, we live streamed last Friday night, and if you saw that, great. A bunch of people came on Facebook Live and saw it, and it was a good time. We talked about everything. We ran the gamut. So if you want to know something about something, go listen to that podcast. It's coming out. I'm coming out with a bridge version this weekend on the podcast, you got to listen to that podcast. There's chock full of stuff. Joy is so knowledgeable on things. She's an editor for the Federalist, and she knows her stuff. And it was a delight to talk to her, and really glad she was able to do that with us. So definitely go listen to that. And you ought to go listen to the videos. I got the videos posted on the YouTube page. Go there, like, subscribe, so you know when we're posting videos, because we've got a ton of great guests coming up, and just people that know stuff that you will find interesting, I think. And so go check out the videos with Joy if you want to get the full effect of what she had to say. It was really a good time. That one's fairly short comparatively. It's only an hour and a half, but we will have the abridged podcast out on that. So go check that out. Also, we were going to go live with Anthony Wade of 826 Ministries, I believe it is, 896. Gosh, I can't remember. This slips my mind. I'll try to put that's up on. We'll get that. We'll definitely get that information to you about his website and his blog. But we are planning on. We're using our magical powers to go live. What we did, we actually recorded, and what I'm going to do with that video is I've got it. There's a way you can go live on Facebook, so we can kind of get it out there, and then those videos are already posted on YouTube as well. And then of course we'll have a truncated, abridged version of my discussion with Anthony. There we really got into a discussion about Christian bakers baking cakes for gay weddings. That was a really fun discussion, and you can see how, and we disagreed on it, and you can see how two people can have a civil conversation about a disagreement and discover some things. I certainly did. I think Anthony did as well, and it was a good discussion. So definitely go check those things out. Thank you for watching in layman's terms. Thank you for those of you who listen to us on KNNA The Cross. Also, don't forget to donate your $50 to the Kenya Well Project. laymanstermsradio.org. We need to get these kids that money so we can get this well dug, and they don't have to worry about carrying buckets of water during the school day. Not fun times, and we can take care of that if you will donate a one-time gift of $50 to the thing. I drive trucks, money's fine. Don't necessarily need extra money from this. We're donating we're taking our donations that you give to us directly to this well project. Nobody's got their hands in the kitty on this thing, and all that money's going to them. So please do go there and donate. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you next time.